Okay, so last night, Mary actually sang a rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing. How many of you were at home and said, hold on, honey, that ain't the Lift Every Voice that I know, honey. What are you doing? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Listen, I want to talk to you just a little bit because last night during Super Bowl 56, we had a rendition sang of Lift Every Voice and Sing, and it got my attention. It got my attention, and this video is going to be very interesting because I'm going to probably say some things that some people aren't going to agree with. I'm going to say some things that's probably going to make some people feel a little bit uneasy, but guess what? I'm SpillitBoyTV, okay? For those of you who don't know me and this is your first time seeing me, this is what I give. I may say some things that make you a little uncomfortable. People who already know me, they already know. Just let them go. All right, let them go. We'll see how it ends up. But I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it the way that I feel it, okay? And again, this song itself, Lift Every Voice, is saying there's a respect. There's a respect that is actually wrapped around the song. So let me start. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start at the place where I went to a black elementary school. Okay, I lived in a black area. It was African American area. I went to a school that was predominantly black, and we did have Caucasian children, and mostly Caucasian children, not too many other nationalities, here and there, but mostly, black or white students, more black than anything else. It's located in a black area. So this is the thing. I say all of that to say this, and also I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, so back then, it is what it's been called, the Black National Anthem. It is the Black National Anthem. So from the moment that it was taught by Mrs. Hill, that was her name, that was our music teacher, Mrs. Hill. From the moment Mrs. Hill taught the song, you were taught the importance of it, you understood it, and you got it. You understood it was important. It was to be respected, not to be questioned. It just always was what it was. Also, on that roster of things when I was in school, elementary, and I'm talking elementary, I'm talking kindergarten, from K through 5. Kindergarten to 5th grade. These were the things that were actually put in. We learned that. We learned the Black National Anthem. We learned the regular National Anthem. You learned your Pledge of Allegiance. And, then you learn the Greatest Love of All was another one. That was part of what you would say like the curriculum for the school. Every child in that school knew those songs, period. Pledge of Allegiance was done every day. I don't even think that's even done in the school system anymore. And I don't understand that. Two things that I've always, from a small child, I've always been proud to be black, and I've always been proud to be an American. That was that. It was never a question. Always been proud to be an African American United States citizen. I've always been proud of those things, and that was that. There was no questions about it. And 50 years later, listen, I'm 50 years old, and I'm a proud United States citizen and African American male, period. Those two things ain't going nowhere. It is what it is. So, I said all of that to say this. These were things that were in the school, and you just didn't question those things. It was what it was. So you never really question it. Now, I am a lover of music, okay? I love music. I love lyrics. I love arrangements. I love all of that. Though I'm not a singer. That's always been one of the talents. I have many talents, but that's one of the talents. I just wasn't blessed with that one. But I got the ear for it, and I do love music. So I know what I like, okay? I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say this, and some people might get very uneasy. Lift Every Voice and Sing has never been one of my favorites, okay? I knew early on it's important. It's important. It was a poem. It was literally a poem that celebrated the victory and the liberty of African American people, okay? It was a poem, and then it was made into song, because that's what we do as African Americans. We always have. Music is our love language. Everything that's important to a black person, there's always music somewhere attached to it, some kind of way. Anything we do that's important, there's music attached. It's our love language. It's how we communicate. It's how we bond. It's food and music. That's what we do. So Lift Every Voice and Sing, it's a poem put into song, and it's our thing. It's our national anthem. So though the composition, the words are beautiful and they're important, the way that it is actually arranged and all of that has never really moved me. What moved me is the respect. I was taught to respect the composition for what it was, okay? So it's never moved me until last night. Last night, when I watched, after all these years, and I've seen the song sang many, many, many times by many people, different gangs of people, different occasions. I've seen the song sang many times, and I had a deja vu last night. I did. When Mary sang Lift Every Voice and Sing, that is not the Lift Every Voice and Sing that I am used to or accustomed to. I feel it was the best rendition of the song that I have ever heard. And I was literally moved to tears with what they did. The arrangement was changed. The way it was handled, there was just something to be said about it. And just, I love Mary anyway. That's a whole nother piece. I'll talk about that in a second. We're going to go all into that. I'll talk about that in a second. But just the song itself, it was tranquil. It was intentional. It was well thought out. The way in which they sang it, that arrangement, completely different. Completely different. Like I said, I'll say some things that might make you feel a little uneasy. If I'm being real, I'll tell, Lift Every Voice and Sing, it's boring. It's a boring song. It's a boring song. It could be very easily oversung. When it's oversung, it's just ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous because the composition is what it is. Generally they're playing a piano. The piano, it was not going to change. They don't change it's just doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 dun, 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 dun. It's boring. It's boring. But again, it's important. So it just is what it is. You're going to sit through it, and you'll sit up straight, and you act like you got some sense. And you always go back to what it means and where it came from. So it don't matter. It don't matter. You're not there. The song's not put wherever it's being played. It's being played for a purpose. You're not just sitting at home playing it. You know what I mean? It's played for a purpose. So you just sit there. Last night, though, I think Mary came very close for me. Like I said, I had a deja vu. They came very close to what Whitney Houston did with the regular national anthem. How the national anthem, okay, it's, there's respect behind the song. I've never gotten excited about the song. Again, I love my country and I have respect for my country. So you sit up like you got good sense and this is the time you be quiet and you listen and you do what you do and then you move on. You're not just turning it on. But when Whitney Houston sang it, it took on a whole new life. Whitney Houston was the first time that I heard the national anthem sang she was, again, it was tranquil. It was intentional. Where she placed certain notes, where she played with her vocals and showed her power. And, it became more about how she embodied the song and gave the song life, as if that was even possible. Because the song has a life of its own because of what it means. But when Whitney put her stamp on it, it changed things. It changed things. Same thing when Marvin Gaye sang it. He stretched out and he changed the arrangement, changed the music. A risk, but a risk that paid off. It gave it life. But when Whitney did it, it just soared. It turned into a song that now people literally just listen to it. People listen to the national anthem now. They just listen to it like they're listening to one of their favorite songs. And that didn't really happen until Whitney did it. Last night, I have to say, I've actually watched that video over and over. Intentionally listened to it over and over. What they did was just amazing to me. I found it amazing. And it was a thing, only Mary Mary. And that's why I said I would get back to the whole thing about the two of them. The two of them together, Erica and Tina Campbell, there's something very special about them together. Both of them are phenomenal singers. Both. I was going to say that Tina is more of a powerful singer than Erica, but that's not true. That's not true. Their styles are different, but when you put them together, it's just... and why I say the power. See, Tina does a lot of... she got a lot more range than Erica, okay? So she's the show. She's the show. She's the show. She's going to do all this yelling and hollering and all of this and get you really going. But at the same time, Erica does the same thing too. But the only thing about Erica, I would say that Erica is the more powerful of the two because the anointing is more heavy on Erica, in my opinion, which makes Erica the more powerful one. Tina can actually get your ear, but Erica will get your soul. Erica is the one that will move you to the tear falling from your tear ducts, not Tina. When there's been times definitely when following those two, they sing separately. They'll sing their own song separately. Tina can't move me on their songs by herself. She'll sing them and you'll be like, yeah, that's my jam. But when Erica sings their songs by herself, Erica can still move and stir my soul. It's because it's the anointing. And that's not to say that, both of them love the Lord and the Lord loves both of them. It just is what it is. That anointing, we don't choose where it goes. You can't deny where it goes. You can just see it. You could just see it. It could be a person that ain't got to have it all together. You could point out 92 things that's wrong with that person in your eyes. 92 things that they don't do right. But when God puts the anointing on a person as far as vocals go, he chooses who he puts it on. And it is on Erica. When Erica shows up somewhere, as soon as she opens her mouth, you see God all wrapped around her. Same thing with Fantasia. Same thing with Leandria Johnson. As soon as she steps into the space and when she starts to hum, you can see the anointing just laying on her shoulder. He does that. And again, both are cool by themselves, but when they're together, it's something special. It really is something special. And that leads me to say, Mary, you two need to come on with some more music. I know y'all been doing your own things and all of that. It's cute. It's cute. But, child, we ain't done with y'all yet. We ain't done with y'all yet, and I don't think y'all are done with us yet. Something about you two together, other than you all being blood sisters, there's something magical about you all together. And last night just reminded me of that. You know, I watched their reality show and stuff. I seen, you know, as they were going through their growths as women, and then they needed to separate and do their own things. They have goals and things, separate goals, and all of that's cool. But child, I beg you to come back together and do what you do. Just don't be done, child. I mean, they are something special. But anyway, last night was amazing, and I had a deja vu. It felt like the whole national anthem thing. Whitney Houston too. Whitney Houston had an anointing on her that was something awesome. Again, Whitney comes from a musical family. Her mother is an amazing singer. Her cousin, amazing singer. But Sissy nor Dion ever won a day of what Whitney got going on. Ever. There was something special about her. Did she do everything right in her life? No. Did she, she had her own demons? No apology needed. But that gift that was put on her was what it was. I mentioned The Greatest Love of All. She did the same thing with that. I told you I was taught that as a child in school. Now, that song never was a boring song. It was always a great song. And remember, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Georgie Benson is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who actually sang the song in 1977 and made it a hit. Okay? And George Benson, and it's so funny because George Benson is listed as a guitarist. He's famous. He's a famous guitarist. But George Benson had a beautiful singing voice. Authoritative and strong and manly and very masculine and very soulful. But he's known, he's a professional guitarist. He's a legendary guitarist. Anyway, he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's another one. We're always very proud of George Benson. We got a lot of people from Pittsburgh, you all. Phyllis Hyman is ours. Georgie Benson is ours. Billy Porter is ours. We got a lot of African-American individuals who are famous, who are very uberly talented, who came right from my city. Very proud of them. But anyway, George Benson did The Greatest Love of All. Whitney Houston put a stamp on The Greatest Love of All, gave the whole song a whole new life. It ended up being a huge hit, for her. It was like, it gained a whole new audience and everything like that. And it was the same thing. Again, deja vu. When I'm sitting here, this is how I felt about this whole thing with the arrangement of Lift Every Voice and Sing last night. The way they sang that song, it just gave the song a whole new life for me. I really enjoyed it. I really did. Listen, I'm going to get on out of here. I think I babbled on enough about it, but I had a moment there with that last night. Like I said, when I was done, I had a tear running down because it was just that daggone good. And you know, I'm always about the fashions. And when I'm sitting up there looking at them, and I realized, I said, oh, it took me until the very end to figure out that they both actually had on pants. Because I was like, they always, that's another thing about Mary. They do their fashion thing. They they don't dress like Bopsy twins. They'll be the same, sometimes the same fabric, but the styling, their stylings are different because they are different. They're sisters, but they're different. And I always love that. But last night, as fashion wise, Tina was a mess. Tina was a mess. I don't know what was going on, but she did more like a suit. They both had this beautiful electric blue fabric, and it had a sparkle to it, as a metallic sparkle thing going on with it. And Tina had on a cat suit. It was a full-on cat suit, 3/4 length sleeve, and it had bell bottom, like a very 70s bell bottom. It flared at her knee. But she was standing there, again, very pristine, and she had her legs together. It looked like a gown. It looked like she had a gown on. And then you had, that was Erica. Then Tina had on, it looked like like just like a double breast jacket and pants. But she paired it up, you know, kind of tried, like she did try to do a little fly thing with like the tennis shoe and different things like that. Both of them, hair and makeup was gorgeous, both of them. And standing there looking at them, I'm like, well, wait a minute now, because usually they don't go that far off the mark. One's in this suit, one's in this gown. And I was like, oh no, that's pants that she has on. But Erica looked amazing. She really did. She looked amazing. The outfit on Tina just missed the mark altogether. Even if she'd have been by herself, it just missed the mark. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. But the vocal performance was so good that it didn't even matter. But you know how to do what I do. I do the little fashion thing, so it is what it is. I couldn't leave it out. There you have it. It is what it is. Tina, the outfit was a mess. Erica, you looked amazing. You looked amazing. But together, collectively on the song, you two gave the song complete new life. There was moments where I felt, again, tranquil. And then there was this whole intentional, these rise and falls. The song has rise and falls in it anyway, but they're very kind of, like I said, dun 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 dun. And no. Last night they literally took a drop of life and put it into the song, and just they turned it out, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. That's all. Ain't got no more. Please leave me a comment. Tell me, did you feel the same? Is it me? Am I just in my feelings? Was it only great for me? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I loved it. Anyway, I'll talk to you all next time. Later.